heavyweight contender Tyson Fury has called out Dereck Chisora, Deontay Wilder, Lucas Browne, and Roy Jones Jr. all on the same day. Now, he called them out on Twitter, and as we all know, Tyson Fury is a guy who he's pretty mischievous. He likes to talk a lot of smack, especially on Twitter, and you can't always take everything he says seriously. You have to take a lot of it with a pinch of salt, because he is a bit of a prankster. He does like to talk smack just to get people talking and, you know, just to stir up a little bit of controversy. He likes to do that. So I'm not sure how serious he is about fighting any of these guys who he mentioned. Maybe he is serious. I'm not saying he isn't, but it's hard to know with Fury when he's joking and when he's being serious a lot of the time. Now, what we do know is that he obviously needs an opponent, because he's been out of the ring now for the best part of a year because of the David Haye debacle. Haye obviously pulled out of 2 fights. He only fought once in 2013, I believe, against Steve Cunningham. So he needs to put food on the table. He's probably spent, I mean, he's definitely spent or wasted a lot of money in 2 failed training camps for those fights with David Haye that were supposed to happen. So he needs to get money in the bank. He needs to put food on the table. So he needs to fight someone, and he's looking for February. He's looking at February to fight next. So these opponents here, Chisora, Wilder, Browne, and Jones Jr. I think the only 2 opponents here who, or the 2 opponents out of that list who are most realistic would be Lucas Browne and Dereck Chisora. Right? Now, we know that Chisora wants to fight because he's been saying for a while, him and Frank Warren have been saying for a while, especially Frank Warren actually, has been saying that he wants the Fury-Chisora rematch. I actually believe that Frank Warren is not 100% confident that Chisora can beat Fury or Wilder, and that he's actually trying to cash out on those fights with Dereck fighting Fury and Wilder. That's what I think Frank Warren's doing, because he's negotiated with the Klitschko's before. He knows how ruthless they are. And I don't believe Frank Warren thinks that Chisora has much of a chance against Vladimir Klitschko. He might say that he does, but I believe deep down Frank Warren does not believe that Dereck Chisora has hardly any chance of beating a Vladimir Klitschko. So he's thinking, why would I send Chisora over there to get beaten up by Klitschko for small money when I can have him fight Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury and have a big part in the promotion, a big hand in the promotion myself, and make a lot of money from it? You know, why would I put him in a position where he's going to be a pawn, or where I'm pretty much going to be a pawn in the negotiations with for a potential Klitschko fight? So he sees the Wilder fight and the Fury rematch as more lucrative for himself. That's what I believe. So he's obviously interested in Chisora fighting Fury for a second time. Chisora seems willing to do whatever Frank Warren wants him to do. So on the only way that a Fury-Chisora fight wouldn't happen is if the Fury camp don't want it, because it's clear that Chisora and Warren do want it. Now, as far as Fury wanting the Chisora fight, Chisora is now European champion. So beating Chisora again might help his ranking. Apparently, I've read somewhere in a couple of articles that if he beats Chisora, it would be an eliminator. It would serve as an eliminator for a world title if he actually fights Dereck Chisora. Now, previously, Tyson Fury has said he's not interested in a Chisora rematch because he beat Chisora first time out. And that's fair enough. He did beat Chisora. He beat him fair and square. Yes, Chisora was out of shape, but that's not Tyson Fury's fault. Yeah? There was no controversy in his win. He beat Dereck Chisora fair and square the first time out. So really and truly, why should he fight Chisora again? That's a fair enough statement from Tyson Fury. So if he turns down a fight with Chisora, or if he comes out and says he's not interested in it, I can't really blame him. Right? He has already beat the man. As far as Deontay Wilder, I don't think that fight will take place. I don't think you'll see Wilder against Fury for now. I don't think that fight is going to take place until at least one of them has fought for a world title. So it could happen, you never know, but I doubt it. I think Deontay Wilder is going to most likely wait for the winner of Areola against Bermane Stiverne, which will probably be for the vacant WBC heavyweight title. I think Deontay Wilder will be waiting for the winner out of that rather than taking on Tyson Fury. So I don't expect that fight to happen. Lucas Browne, that fight could maybe happen. But Lucas Browne his goal has always been to be the first, I believe, Commonwealth champion, heavyweight champion from Australia. So at the moment, who has the Commonwealth belt? I think it's still David Price, or did he relinquish the Commonwealth belt as well? Is the Commonwealth belt vacant? I'm not sure. If you know better than me right now about that situation, drop your comments below. But as far as I'm aware, the Commonwealth belt might still be vacant. I know Chisora is the European champion right now, but don't believe he's the British champion. British title might be vacant. So you never know. Maybe Fury and Lucas Browne could fight for the vacant Commonwealth. If it is vacant, who knows? That's a matchup that could potentially be made. I'm not sure if Lucas Browne will won it. I think he was more confident of fighting David Price because Price was coming off 2 knockout defeats. But then again, you know, Lucas Browne has come out after his most recent victory and said he would fight anyone on the British scene. He would be willing to fight Chisora. He would be willing to fight Price. He would be willing to fight Fury. He said that recently. He said the only guy who he would need a bit more, a bit more improvement before he fights would be David Haye. But he said in terms of Fury and Chisora and Price, he's willing to fight them right now. Now we'll see if he's true to his word on that. He's coming off a good win against Richard Towers. Maybe he'll take the Fury fight. It's obviously going to be for a decent amount of money. So I think that the Chisora and Lucas Browne fights are the most likely fights to happen out of the opponents who Tyson Fury has mentioned on Twitter. Those 4 opponents. The one that is never going to happen is Roy Jones Jr. Right? That ain't going to happen. I mean, Roy Jones, you never know. Roy Jones is crazy enough these days, it seems. Sad to say that, but it seems he's crazy enough and desperate enough to pretty much take on anyone. But I think that would even be a step too far for Roy Jones Jr. to take on a 6'9" heavyweight at this stage of his career. He's still got plenty of things going on back down at cruiserweight. So I'd be surprised if he takes on Tyson Fury or if he's even interested in that fight. But drop your comments below. Do you think Tyson Fury is serious about taking on any of these guys that he's mentioned? Who would you like to see him fight most out of that list? And which matchup do you think is most likely to happen? And how do you see the matchup going if it did happen? Drop your comments below. This is Hatman, I'm out.